Hey, Georgetown Nazarene family, I'm excited to let you know that we are finally back to in-person worship. It seems like forever since we were together worshiping together in our sanctuary. But before you come, there's a few things I need to let you know. First, if you or anyone in your household has experienced COVID-19 symptoms in the last 14 days, please stay home and worship with us online. Also, if you or anyone in your household has a compromised immune system, please stay home and worship with us online. Finally, if you're over the age of 60, we want to give you the permission to stay home and worship with us online. We want everybody to come back, but we want everybody to come back when it is safe and best for them to come back. So you have our permission to continue to worship with us online. Now, with that being said, there's been a few changes that has had to happen around here because of the pandemic. So I'm going to walk through what some of those changes are so that you know what to expect when you do decide to come back to worship. First of all, outside our doors, we'll see a couple greeters. They'll be at our main entrances. The main entrance is the only entrance that we're using. The double doors will be propped open, and as you come up, the greeters will welcome you with a wave and a welcome. They'll have a smile underneath their mask, but they're not able to hug you and they're not able to give you a handshake because of the pandemic. We want to do that, but we just can't do that right now. So when you walk in the building, you'll notice there'll be another greeter. That greeter will direct you to whatever it is that you need to do next. First, if you want to use the restrooms, our restrooms are open, but we do ask that only people in the same household go into them at the same time. If there's more than one person in the restroom, that kind of compromises the social distancing. So you might want to knock on the door before you go in. Also know that there is plenty of spray sanitizer in our restrooms. You can sanitize before or after you touch any surfaces. So know that there's plenty of ways for you to stay safe and sanitary in our restrooms and in the rest of our building as well. Also know as you come in, we have temperature check stations. They're not mandatory, but if you want to have your temperature checked, we have a touchless thermometer that you can use to have your temperature checked. We also have masks available free if you desire to have one. They're not mandatory, but we do encourage everybody to wear a mask while we're in the buildings at all times. It helps us to prevent spreading of any germs that we may breathe out. So if you need one, we have one, and maybe you can even take two if you need an extra. Also in our lobby, you'll notice that we have a station set up where if you have kids that are under the age of 12, our children's pastor, Michelle Carden, has put together children's packets that coincide with the service that we're having in our main sanctuary. So it gives your kids something to do during service to keep them active. Now, we are asking that everybody goes directly into the sanctuary to be seated. So that means that you need to bring your own coffee with you. We won't be having our hospitality set up. We can't give out food, we can't give out drinks. So stop before you come, and pick up your drink, pick up a snack, and come on into worship. So why don't we walk on into the sanctuary and we'll take a look at what it looks like now. Well, as you come into the sanctuary, there's a couple things you need to know. First of all, our sanctuary is as sanitary as possible. We sanitize it between every service, before and after, just to make sure that it is as safe as possible for as many people as possible. Second thing you'll notice is half the chairs are gone. Nobody stole them, it's okay. We've purposely placed them 6 feet apart in rows so that we can social distance when we're seated. When you come in, an usher will greet you and ask you to be seated as a family, as a household. And then when you're seated, we ask that you maintain 3 seats between you and the next group. That way we continue to have social distancing throughout our worship services. Also know that as you come in, there will be offering boxes by the main double door entry. You can place your offering in there before or after service, whichever you like. Or you can continue to give online or through texting or by mailing a check to the church office. All ways are completely safe and secure for you. Also notice that on the Sundays in which we have communion, we'll be having prepackaged communion cups at each chair. They'll be placed there before each service and they'll be ready for you when we have our communion time so that we can worship and celebrate Eucharist together. Also, I want you to know, as you leave, you'll be leaving from back to front and only through the middle doors. We want to maintain proper direction, proper social distancing, and the best, easiest way to do that is if everybody enters and exits through the same doors. So, just a few things that you have to be mindful of. Now, before I go, there's one other thing that I want to make sure that you know. We're going to offer grace to everybody that comes. Not everybody will wear a mask. Not everybody will not want to wear a mask. I mean, people will be on both sides of that issue. So I want you to know we're going to offer grace to everybody. We don't want to cause any kind of division. We want to make sure that everybody is as comfortable as possible and can worship as easy as possible while we're here together. So I'm looking forward to us being together. I'm so glad we're finally able to be together, and I hope you come back when you feel it is safe and comfortable for you to come back. Until then, I will see you later. May God bless you. We love you. Goodbye.